content that's coming out soon. While rock climbing might seem like a pretty self-explanatory...
When gamers take this shit seriously, it's funny to me. It makes me root for the cheaters. No, I think I disagree. I think it's like, dude, there's not a lot of fun in this world for people who are just like wage cucks in general. Okay? And you're basically ruining someone else's fucking day by cheating. You know what I mean? What the fuck are people supposed to do? Like they got nothing. This is their sense of community. This is their sense of like escapism. This is the one opportunity that they have to like, this is the one opportunity that they have to feel like they have a sense of control. Because it's supposed to be like an actual demonstration of meritocracy, a meritocratic process. That's why gamers fucking hate pay to win shit, right? Or used to. Because, like, games are supposed to be merit-based. And as long as you have the equipment, right? As long as you have the equipment, you can live in a world of meritocracy for a brief moment, right? But now, even that little solace that you have to escape from the shitty existence of capitalism where you have no control over your life, you now don't have that either. Gamers who hated pay to win grew up and have money now. Yeah, I know. They don't hate it as much any longer, you know? But still, like... I don't know, it's pretty endemic in gaming. You got powerless incels and they want to hurt somebody online since they can't do it in real life. Yeah, I think that's a part of it for sure. The cheaters do it deliberately to make people feel bad. It's why games like those are swarmed with extremists. A fair amount of cheaters want to dominate people. That's why they try and hide that they cheat. Yeah. Asman literally said that this morning and mentioned you. Lol, weird. Wait, what do you mean? Mentioned me in a gaming conversation? I mean, you could go touch some grass, bro. Have some real world interaction so you don't have to game to be your sole defining source of self-worth outside of wage cuckery. No, I don't think it's like that. I mean, it's literally just fun. Asmongold said I'm a pay to win enjoyer. What? I don't even play games. Despite the fact that my chat constantly yells at me to play games. But there's basically no way, like in the real world, people are saying compare that to sports in the real world, but like there's nothing you can really do in the real world that's like comparable. I guess like it would basically be like you can't even say steroids because like it doesn't fucking matter because you still have to put the work in, you know what I mean? There is no leg up that you can get in the real world when you're playing a fucking real sport. I guess like maybe cheaters in the real world are like people who fucking, I can only make a comparison to basketball. Those who pay the refs. Man, we're talking about pickup basketball. There's no paying. What referees exist in pickup basketball? No. In the real world, I guess like the only thing you can do is like maybe foul a lot. And then that's it, which I do. I fucking despise that shit. I hate that. I'm talking about like playing sports for fun. Stay off sports, man. Your takes are always so bad, lol. Hasan CIA dog. Brother, how about you shut the fuck up? You're a Twitch watcher. The fact that like I'm even having a conversation with you, chatter, about actual things that I do in the fucking real world versus something that you've never done is enough, okay? I'm having a conversation about something I do regularly in the real world. You have not seen the real world, okay? I'm not even talking about fucking organized sports. I'm not talking about NBA. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like in a similar capacity to like playing Tarkov, a way to release stress by playing sports, okay? A concept that you have never even heard of. Don't come at me like that. Sorry if I popped off on you super hard. I'm not talking about watching sports. I'm talking about playing him in not organized, clearly. Breaking rules and gaslighting your friends is like cheating in sports. Yeah, but like even then it's like minimal. There's no wall hack equivalent in the real world when you're recreationally playing sports. There's just none. Because there's like actual real work that you have to put in regardless to be good. Yeah, you can't fly hack in basketball. But anyway. Shooting sleeves add +10 to your 3-pointers? Yeah, okay. Doping? Yeah, doping is a great example, but like we're talking about one, literal pickup basketball, and nobody's fucking doping for that. And two, my point exactly is that like even if you're doping, even if you're doing steroids, let's say you're doing steroids to play pickup basketball, you still have to learn how to play basketball. You still have to literally physically be good at basketball. You can't just be like super jacked. Some of you have never played with like a college football player on the courts, and it shows. Those motherfuckers hit like a truck, but they have nothing else going on. You know what I mean? You still have to get, as the chatter pointed out, mechanically good. And that comes from playing a lot. Whereas a wall hack can make even the worst player good automatically because of the advantage that it gives you. Anyway, I don't even know why the fuck we got to this point. I don't know why we got to this point, but like, I guess what I was trying to say is like, gaming is a safe way to basically live in this like false meritocratic universe, and cheaters break that. And oftentimes they do it either to exercise like cruelty towards you, or they do it because, they want to make money.
Concept, like a lot of sports, if you've never rock climbed before, it can be intimidating going to a gym for the first time and not being able to even hold the first jug on the easiest climb. This is why it's important to know the what's what and the do's and don'ts of how climbing is supposed to be done, so you can check yourself and avoid feeling attacked by onlookers giving you unsolicited yet polite encouragement. Now, to start with the most famous type of rock climbing, we of course have free soloing, which is climbing outdoor rock faces with no gear at all except your shoes, pants, no shirt obviously, and maybe your chalk bag if you happen to remember it that day.
That's
when
insane.
anyone talks about free soloing, they all talk about Alex Honnold, who climbed this bad boy without a rope. Most people don't know why you would feel compelled to do that, but if you ever climbed to the top of the playground with no help,
free soloing just seems like free death.
Free soloing is one of the most fulfilling types of rock climbing because you're basically guaranteed to die doing what you love, which is avoiding all social responsibility. Free soloing is of course respected as one of the coolest forms of rock climbing, because when we see a guy who repeatedly risks his own life for what he's deeply passionate about, we all think the same thing. I can fix him. For this reason, any variation on free soloing that incorporates outside assistance is known in the community as aid. For example, if you use a harness with an ascender and ladder system to help you up the climb, this is such aid it is literally known as aid climbing. It must be avoided at all costs if you're truly committed to becoming one with the wall. Some people do what's called trad, or traditional climbing, which is climbing those same big cliff faces but using a harness and rope in case they fall, where they typically place anchors on the route on the way up, and their trailing partner takes them out as they follow behind them. This, however, isn't real climbing, of course, because having a friend to go climbing with is clearly aid. In the words of Alex Honnold
has stopped free soloing after getting a kid, as far as I know. Yeah, pussy. Imagine having a child and a sense of responsibility. Dude, if you're a real one, you die with a child, okay? Real climbers die, okay? Even if they have a child.
I started free soloing in part because I was too anxious to ask other climbers to belay me. Now that's climbing. Then we have bouldering, which is one of the most popular types of climbing and my personal favorite, consisting of short, technical climbs that are done with nothing but chalk, climbing shoes, and a beanie. Bouldering, along with free soloing, is the only type of outdoor climbing where climbers don't usually wear helmets, because a helmet obviously isn't going to help much if you're falling off El Capitan, but if a boulderer falls, they only fall a few feet, meaning when you bonk your head without a helmet onto the forest floor, your memory will be completely erased, so every attempt can be considered an on-site. At the end of the day, the two disciplines are pretty similar, because free soloing is just one really big boulder problem. If you've ever done indoor low-ascent free soloing and a girl sees you find a knee bar on the overhang V5, you and Alex Honnold are practically the same person. He just has a bit more endurance. We of course have ice climbing, which is where climbers continually ascend frozen waterfalls by repeatedly pressing up B and throwing their partner 10 to 15 feet ahead of them until they summit. Well, that is...
I had a professor that was into free climbing. He fell 10 feet directly on his back, and the doctor said he'd never walk again. He did learn how to walk again, but he was done climbing after that. Pussy. Dude, I understand why people have the urge to climb. Like, I get that part. I just don't understand leaning into that urge. Okay? I am such a fucking... I'm too big for climbing in general because, like, there's a lot more cake that I have to pull up. I did. I climbed on stream. I did it. I did the high ropes and then I did a little bit of climbing after, but, like, I just can't, dude. It's so hard. First of all, motherfucker saying Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa weighs like at least 40 pounds lighter than me, okay? Well, how much does he weigh? Jason Momoa weight. Yeah, he's 6'4". He's 214 pounds. Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'm 6'4", 249 pounds. Same reason people feel safer and trusting driving more than flying. It's more dangerous, but you have a sense of control. It's so hard. I'm light as fuck and I hate climbing. Literally would rather run, and running can get fucked. I don't know. I'm putting this off because my trainers are constantly trying to get me to go climbing with them, like indoors, like constantly. And I'm always like, nah, dog. I'll play basketball all day, every day. But climbing, that's too much. That's too much for me. I just can't fucking do it. Ludwig has tried to get me to go climbing with him as well. And so did Connor Dog Virginia, actually. Tried to get me to go climbing with him in Japan. And Ludwig does have cake, and so does Connor, so. Ludwig is climbing again. I get, he stopped. I don't know if he's climbed recently. But, you know.
That is admittedly impressive. If you've ever looked at a frozen waterfall, you'll notice one thing right away. There isn't any rocks. In fact, there aren't any jugs, pinches, slopers, or even cracks. There's just one big sheet of ice and you get an ice pick to make your own holds. And I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. Being able to afford to go ice climbing is clearly aid. You at least get cool spiky crampons that are designed to stick into the wall when you lose your grip, so when you fall, you immediately break both your ankles and have to call the helicopter to rescue you. It is extremely important that everyone tries ice climbing once, so you can then tell everyone you've been ice climbing. We also have competition speed climbing, which is a very niche form of climbing where you climb an internationally standardized route as fast as possible. A lot of criticism has been brought to speed climbing because of its inclusion in the Olympics, where you have to compete in speed climbing, bouldering, and lead climbing, and then your combined score is what puts you on the podium. Because almost no climbers actually train speed climbing normally, it's a bit like if javelin included a cheeky pint and a leg of darts, or if the Olympics didn't just count how many gold medals each country won, but also showed the body count each country's athletes racked up in the Olympic Village. One of the best known facts in rock climbing is that taking your shirt off increases your power level by 2 boulder grades. This is why I climb with a baseball cap instead of a beanie, so I can turn it backwards if I need an extra boost. This is often combined with a technique called campusing, which is when you climb a route using only your hands and upper body. It's usually done around new climbers and your casual friends to suggest you could still outclimb them even if you were a paraplegic. Now, the big difference between a beginner climber and an advanced climber...
I mean, you would literally outclimb them further if you were paraplegic. Like, it's because, you know, way lighter legs, dude. You kidding me?
Is that beginners train their fingers so they can improve their grip strength and climb harder grades of climbs, whereas advanced climbers make sure they train all their fingers because 2 of them are always injured, but they refuse to take time off from climbing. One of the great upsides of rock climbing is that if you do it long enough, you gain...
That's the other part of it that I fucking hate. Even when I climbed a little bit, your climbing career was your best arc. Oh, this was so bad, dude. That was terrifying, by the way. But that's the other part of it that I hate is like my fucking forearms. Paraplegic doesn't mean they don't have legs. Yeah, but it means that your legs, due to atrophy, are no longer as muscular and therefore much lighter. I know. I knew someone was going to try to get me on that. I knew it. I fucking knew someone was going to try to get me on that shit, okay? Climbers skip leg day anyway, though. Yeah, the only behemoth of a man that I know who's a fucking climber literally has the most gorilla-like stature. My height, insane fucking wingspan, like 7% body fat, even though he eats like shit. Hands like a fucking ape, okay? Way more busted hands than me. Makes my hands look like I got soft-ass, baby-ass hands, okay? And no legs. Like, it's wild. Just no, like, it's just so funny. My trainers climb too, but they're, you know, they're good, but they're very well balanced. No, I'm not talking about Bradley. I tried to click this like it's a video, dude, to unpause. I'm so fucking stupid.
Gain the power to easily take toast out of the toaster without feeling anything, because your fingers almost completely callous over. A lot of people suggest using a pumice stone to file...
Oh, I was going to say, the other thing is like my hands, my fingers, my fingies and my forearms hurt like a motherfucker after like even attempting to climb a little bit.
Down, but the last time I did that, someone asked me if I was projecting my V3, and I have yet to recover from that. If you've ever been to a rock climbing gym with a lot of top roping, you'll notice they're often really popular date spots, but one of the things to keep in mind is that you'll really mess up your nails if they're not filed down. That means if you meet a girl and want to ask if she'd like to come and be your belay partner, you have to remember my golden rule. Long nails means her day would be ruined, and short nails means she's probably just a thoughtful lesbian. So better to keep your eyes peeled for a better opportunity and stick to the auto belay instead. If you make it out to a climbing gym, you need to keep in mind there are 3 types of people the entire gym stops to watch. Fitness influencers in leggings who have just discovered the synergy between yoga pants and a harness, the guy who's easily 3 times heavier than his 5-foot-tall girlfriend who didn't tie into the floor anchor, and the shredded shirtless guy who's about to flash the hardest problem in the gym, then wander off aimlessly to do some Wing Chun shadow jutsu and grab the kilter board a couple times before leaving.
I've never been to a climbing gym and even I know half of these fucking memes, dude. That's so funny. It's just like climbing culture is very funny.
And never being seen again. If you do decide to try yourself, it's also important to look the part, but this is where it gets tricky because if you just assume, Well, I guess I'll just dress like everyone else and wear a beanie, Patagonia shirt, nylon cargo pants, North Face fleece, and a Gore-Tex softshell. You couldn't be walking a more dangerous line, because although to you it would appear you're simply another zebra in the Pacific Northwestern herd, you're literally one fatal mistake away from an overly friendly 30-year-old with forearm tattoos and a mustache buying you an IPA and telling you about Whistler. So pay very close attention to the crucial details of the outfit. Big beanie means snowboarder, normal beanie means rock climber, tiny beanie means skateboarder. Okay, you should be safe now. Slap on some tiny colorful shoes that turn your feet into croissants and equip your ballet glasses to catch anyone on the ceiling checking you out. But remember, if you're looking to become a lifelong climber, there's an ultimate price you'll have to pay. And that price is the ludicrous annual gym membership. Don't be surprised if you need a second job just to fund the climbing fees in your cocaine bag alone. The last golden rule of rock climbing that you must remember at all times is that there is no injury that can't be solved with climbing tape. Torn tendon, peeled callus, broken finger, sunburn.
Watching this video is basically anti-aid. This Gumby probably couldn't climb the V0 pink juggle in the corner on campus with pinky monos as my warm-up. His gym is an inflated choss pile. He's probably never climbed outside and thinks that Alex Handhold is the best climber in the world. Get real. This jug hauler is called Casually Explained for a reason. Watch real climbers like Magnum Meatball. What the fuck? Oh! Oh! Well, I don't even know what half of those words are, dude. What the fuck just happened? Humba Man is back, dude. It's been a while.
Burn. All you have to do is wrap it around the affected area and never let a doctor look at it. If James Franco had some climbing tape in 127 hours, he could have just taped his arm back on and climbed out. Well, that would have saved him from having to go to the hospital. I should point out that the ascent obviously wouldn't have counted, as having 2 arms is clearly aid.
Magnum is one of the best climbers in the world. Yeah. IRL rock climbing with you and your trainers. I